Betting on Tomorrow, the power of prediction markets.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So before we begin, allow me to introduce you to the panel, prediction markets, and basically the power of prediction markets betting on tomorrow. On my left, I have Ms. Maja, who is a senior GRC leader with global regulatory experience across the FCA, SEC, FINRA, and the NFA, CFTC areas. Okay? Now, she is the Chief Compliance Officer at Galactic Markets. So she's going to be able to share some insights pertaining to the regulatory landscape in prediction markets. On the very end, we have Mr. Stefan Rust, who is the founder of Index.fun, a platform that turns community data and real-world trends into on-chain tradable indices. He has a plethora of experience across the industry. He used to be the CEO of Bitcoin.com, a proud Longhorn fan, so hook 'em horn. So a lot of the things that we're going to be able to share with you today. So thank you. So allow me to, before we begin and giving the floor to them, to give a brief presentation or introduction about what is prediction markets and what we are in today. So just so that you know that prediction markets can sometimes be called information markets, and our platform where people trade contracts based on the outcomes of future events. The prices of these contracts reflect the crowd's collective estimate of the probability of that event will happen. You heard of Polymarkets, you heard of Cauchy. This is giants currently in the industry that are working in the US and globally. But here you're going to hear about other prediction markets platforms that are here to innovate and revolutionize the industry. So let's start with Maja. And can you please tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the industry, about Galactic, and any insights that you would like to share with the audience?
Absolutely, and welcome everybody. So what we're doing in Galactic is we bring in that prediction market and the ability for people to basically share their opinion and put their money behind what they believe in. But we're backing it by traditional legacy media brands. So the likes of Sports Illustrated that owns the NBA League, all the way to Time Magazine, which has the top 100 influential people. So then that way we bring in that audience, basically transforming the media market and making it more relevant to what people want to hear, but also making them more engaged by letting them bet on their opinions and basically putting the money into what they believe in. So that's what we're doing at Galactic. Entering the US market, entering all the other markets, doing it in a very regulated way through the traditional financial services regulators in order to be able to trade both fiat and digital currencies.
Great, and if I may add, Galactic is taking a very, I would say, unique path to market, because instead of going to one customer at a time, what Galactic is doing is partnering with media giants, influencers, with entities that have audiences so that they can go to the masses in that way. And one of the first clients that Galactic has is a Sports Illustrated, with in next year is going to be going to market in 2026. So that's very smart in the way that the CEO of Galactic, Mr. Suestad, is leading the company. Now, Stefan, let's go with you, sir. So please tell us a little bit about what you're doing at Index, or maybe you can share with us some of your previous experiences and what brought you into prediction markets.
Yeah, so what got me to Index.fun is today we have in prediction markets, the biggest prediction market is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where you can trade derivatives to the level of quadrillions. You know, what is a quadrillion? I can't even fathom the magnitude and the size of that. None of this is available on the blockchain. It's really early. The cost of launching an index today or a futures contract on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange takes you 1 year and about $1 million. And so on the blockchain, you can launch that instantaneously. Prediction markets are binary options that you can trade. They are futures contracts. You're betting on an outcome, either yes or no, up or down, in the future. And so as of that, it is a prediction or a derivative that you're betting on.
So check this out, Stefan. Let's just like make it simpler for the average user, the people that are watching us. What would be your definition of prediction markets, and can you give our audience some clear use cases for prediction markets in a very simple way?
To me, it's info finance. It's financial information with people that have skin in the game. You've got money in the bet, right? You're taking a position, and ultimately, what does that mean? You're going to have the future of governance, the future of information, the future of news, the future of business decisions be made based on the amount of money that is at stake. I can put $10, I will buy $10 worth of Apple stock when they launch iPhone 18, for example. And I'm predicting that they will launch iPhone 18, and if you're Apple and there's $10 million of people wanting to buy Apple stock, if I launch iPhone 18, you will launch iPhone 18 because you know that that 10 million is going to buy your stock, and it's going to maybe get more demand, and you're going to be following the direction of your market a lot more.
Exactly. And before I go with you, but yeah, Maja, just share with that because I wanted to share something on what Stefan said.
No, I think exactly this is a perfect way, and it is derivatives, it is futures. That's why we are able to regulate it. That's why we are able to even bring it to the market, right, in a fashion. Because this is basically, when you really come and look at the history of it, this is what farmers used to do. So when farmers back in the day started and, farmed their crop, their wheat, their oats, whatever it is, they would then place a hedge, place basically a future prediction of how much wheat they're going to have in order to make bread. It's as simple as that. It's basically now allowing and opening the market to everybody, so that if you have an opinion, will it rain tomorrow, yes or no? Who will win the election? Who will win this game? What will happen, right? I think that's basically opening the market, not making it any more restricted, but just open it to every other user and just allowing it that. So that's the origin. I think that is it. And by putting the skin in the game, we're basically allowing people for, okay, it's not your opinion. It's not just a poll. It's not just, oh, have you been asked yes or no? If you believe in it, put how much money you actually think it's going to happen.
And exactly. And to complement the examples that Maja and Stefan share with us, just so that you know, and when it comes to prediction markets, in the past, just say 2 years, just mostly insiders would know about the market, not everybody, okay? And with the recent election of President Trump in November of last year, people would say, well, most new outlets would say that President Trump was dead, like 50-50 chance with Kamala Harris for the presidency, okay? They were like neck to neck, but prediction markets were saying that President Trump was 60%, above 60%. But CNN and other major news outlets that we know were saying, no, they are tied. And when the election finished, and by the way, there was more than $4 billion, people saying that Donald Trump would win with 60% of the vote. And guess what? He won. After that, prediction markets basically took the front seat into pretty much everything, and this is where we are today. Yes, Stefan.
Yeah, and I think it's going to go. This is super early in the evolution, and I think we're going to see so many more type of products evolve. Right? Already today, you talked about agriculture. Right? If the weather changes, that changes your crop. If that changes your wheat output, food is going to get more expensive because there's less wheat to actually make bread, make all these costs. So more people are going to demand bread. Less wheat means more demand, so prices go up. And then you can hedge yourself against that, which actually acts as an insurance policy. So you then will build new products, financial product, that everybody can participate in. And I think that's the beauty. Today, on the CME, which is quadrillions big, there are 5,000 licensed participants only. So there are only 5,000 people that can trade. And now, thanks to the opening up of prediction markets, we now see anybody can bet in. And we're seeing billions of dollars. What were you saying? 4 billion in the presidential election.
Just in one poll.
That's one market. One single market generates that kind of attraction. We do inflation. Inflation every single month attracts hundreds and thousands of investors that put over $1 million into one single index called inflation. How many people care about inflation? It's a tiny cosmos of the people, right? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But now, since we are at that, Stefan, I want to ask you and Maja, do you think that prediction markets would be bigger than the stock market in the future?
Yeah, much more, especially with AI coming in, you're going to see a much faster growth. Why? Because a lot of these prediction markets generate a huge volume of data. Users, money, different types of markets, on different exchanges, on different platforms, in different predictions, different categories. So you have all of these markets. Now all of that data can go into AI engines, LLMs, large language models. They then process that. They generate regression or correlation analyses. So they identify, with this opportunity, this is correlated. You know, we talked about OnlyFans before. If OnlyFans revenue is up, the luxury goods item is up, right? So people start buying Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and other brands.
Sorry, what is OnlyFans? What are you talking about? Exactly. What about you, Maja? What do you think? You think that prediction markets would be bigger than the stock market?
I think the answer is very simple. So stock market, if you also think about this, it seems complicated, right? And it's all designed for institutions. This one, the entry to market, all you require is to have an opinion. And I mean, I haven't met a human in my history of life that doesn't have opinions, right? We can start from, will it rain tomorrow? Yes or no? Your grandma will have an opinion. To, right, who will win the elections? Yeah, maybe you will have an opinion about this at lunch with your work colleagues. But basically, anybody and everybody can put money behind what they believe in. So by opening it up to retail users, to everybody, and by having this variety of different markets, we no longer desire, or basically we don't need experts. We just need every other person to put money behind what they believe in.
Wisdom of the crowd, right? We could say that, wisdom of the crowd.
And the crowd will be helped by all these tools, because there'll be so many different markets. Either the crowd will specialize in specific areas of interest.
Exactly.
And then they will go to the specific exchanges and the specific markets where they can then place their bet, because I really believe in coffee, or I love coffee, so I will believe in coffee prices go up or down, whatever that prediction may be. But then ultimately, I will have tools that tell me where's the best market to bet. And if I can trade a price of a prediction of coffee go up on Galactic versus on Index.fun versus on Kalshi versus on Polymarket, there's an arbitrage between those markets. And people will start trading that arbitrage.
It's the same thing that people are doing in crypto.
Exactly.
Something that we know more about. You will go to a different exchange and you will see which one has a better rate, a better price, and then you go there because you get more money for your buck.
But
now,
also that's supported by the AI and the content, right? And
exactly.
And that's what we've seen already, because that's where we've seen Elon Musk coming in and the whole deal with Grok and Polymarket, and that's what we also seen, right, with basically the integration of all the new technologies. So it will only be simpler. It is already simpler.
Exactly, and in a nutshell, essentially what prediction markets is giving all of us is the opportunity to participate in things that we never thought were possible. Right now, when you think about, let's just say, betting, you will go to a casino, you will bet on sports, you will bet on stuff that are traditional that everybody knows. Who's going to win, who's going to lose. Basically, that's it. Now, with prediction markets, you have the possibility to be part of the election cycle. You could be, on social issues. There are so many pools. I invite you to go and check what Polymarket, Cauchy, platforms that are already set up, that you can see all the possibilities on what you can do. And not only on social stuff, actually, I forgot, you can also have, even in crypto,
But even in sports, right? So if you're a big fan of Roma, AS Roma, right? What's the brand that they use for the clothing? What shoes does your favorite athlete play? How do I build those correlations? So if, if Messi scores a goal, what does that mean for Nike, or the shoes that is sponsoring him? And then can you bet, if Messi scores a goal, will the price of Nike shoes sales go up? Will that drive the price of, so you can actually
indeed
start.
But I want to do something now quickly, because I see we know the industry very well. We work in the industry, we understand, and we're using that terminology. Now for the audience and the people who are watching us at home, Stefan, can you tell me simply, what is prediction markets? Like, dumb it down for me a bit. Prediction markets for the audience.
It's binary options, right? So for simple persons, you can just bet on an outcome, and you put money there, and you either make money or you're gonna lose the money that you do. It's better than lottery. The likelihood of winning, you can actually use your gut, you can use your mind, you can use data, and you can bet on an outcome. And that's all it is, really, at the basicest, simplest term.
Maja, what about you? How would you define prediction markets quickly, in a very simple way?
Opinions that count, and opinions that you back with your own money. You put that skin in a game, and I think that's what it would be for me.
Exactly, opinions that counts, and actually that's the motto at Galactic, opinions that counts. You need to understand something, that in prediction markets, you really have the chance to really give what you believe in, based on your gut feeling, as Stefan said, or based on the information that you have. Sometimes you don't want to share your political views, religion, business with people that you care about, because they maybe get offended. Yeah? So prediction markets give you the ability to do that and be monetized and be paid for. So that's the beauty of it.
If I may just pick up on something that Stefan just said, the reason why I think, right, it had such also a good entrance to market and acquisition is simple as we're not betting against the house, right? The odds are not set by somebody who by default is trying to make money out of it. You betting basically your opinions peer-to-peer, which means there is no right or wrong. Like the exchanges or the likes of us, we make money either way, right? So for us, we don't need to set the odds. We don't need to make it complicated so that we actually gonna win at the end of the day, and we're not gonna ban you like some of the casinos or gaming platforms because you're winning. And I think that's where it's also so attractive for users to basically put the money, what they really believe in, because that's how they make their real money back.
I think that's a really good point, right? The fact that it's a market that defines the price of the outcome. It's not odds that are being put in front of you, and you can take those odds or not. It's really a peer-to-peer market that defines a price.
Okay, so let's do this quickly, because we're coming to the last part of our presentation, unfortunately, but yeah, we need more time, but anyhow. So Stefan, can you tell us a little bit about, in a nutshell, so that also our audience know a bit about Index.fun? What are you doing there? How your platform works? Just share a little bit with us about that.
Yeah, what I started doing was creating an inflation index. This was like 4 years ago. And in order to calculate inflation, we needed to aggregate a hell of a lot of data in order to be able to be better than the government. So we launched Trueflation, Trueflation.com. And what do we do with that? We aggregated the cost of agriculture products, wheat, the oil, energy costs, right? We needed the cost of infrastructure, metals, copper, etc. But then also goods, the cost of eggs, the cost of steak, the cost of rent, all of that, and we needed to add together. So we had all this data. What do we do with this data beyond inflation? Because the only people interested in inflation were the 5,000 licensed CME traders, right? So I need to get a bigger market with all this data. And so that's where Index.fun came up, where I can do an index, I can now trade anything that is measurable. Revenue of a company, sentiment analysis with what are people saying on Twitter, what are people saying on threads, on Blue Sky, etc. So what are people saying about Manchester United or Manchester City or AS Roma, etc. So ultimately, I can then start to trade that. And that's where is the simple trading? So how do you make it easy? Up or down is super easy. And you've got 1 day, 1 second, 1 minute, 1 month, 1 year to make that decision. Will that happen within that time frame? And prediction markets, perfect platform for that. And it's a great educational on-ramp into options trading and derivatives trading.
Maja, what about you? Can you please tell us a little bit about what Galactic is doing at the moment? If any entity or platform media giant wants to work with Galactic, how would they go about that? What are the opportunities at the company?
Yes, so as mentioned before, our route to market was slightly different. Instead of kind of launching by our own and just getting the users, we are a B2B2C by partnering with those media legacy brands. So if you think about media brands are a little bit outdated, nobody buys papers and so on. So how do we make them relevant? And how also we give them that information of what people are interested in. So the first partnership and the launch that we did, the soft launch, was with Sports Illustrated. So it's all about the NBA finals and basketball players in the US. And with that, we basically went into the sports. And now with different media partners, we'll be entering different verticals: political, entertainment, lifestyle, basically you name it, all the way to social. And based on those verticals, there'll be different markets that are then relevant to those legacy media audiences, subscribers bases that can share their opinions, participate, and then back to reusing that data, those media companies can really know what people want to hear about, right? What content do they find relevant, and therefore what's influencing, what they're doing.
All right, so guys, sorry we pressed for time, but thank you very much for being here with us and hearing to all the amazing information from Stefan and Maja about prediction markets. For any more information, please check Index.fun, all the socials, and also Galactic for more information and what they are doing in the market. Thank you very much. Ms. Olga?